Welcome to Binge Watchers, where we talk about the stories and characters we love and the shows they live in. My name is Ron, and let's talk about Season 1 of The Strain. The blood, and disgusting worms. The Strain tells the story of a mysterious outbreak of what seems to be vampirism in New York City. Dr. Ephraim Goodweather of the CDC recognizes the threat and tries to do something about it, but he soon learns that this is more than just like a normal disease. The Strain is based off a series of books written by Guillermo del Toro and Chuck Hogan, and the show was created by them as well. Del Toro is known for unique dark fantasy themes and interesting character design, so I was really looking forward to seeing some pretty special monsters in this show. The story in The Strain plays out very similarly to the zombie apocalypse story that we all know, so at least at first, this show has a lot of elements that don't really feel fresh. What is interesting is that the lead character, Dr. Goodweather, provides us with a bit of a different perspective on the whole thing than we usually get. Goodweather is a doctor for the Center of Disease Control. He's not just willing to accept that vampires are a thing. So the show actually takes a look at the biology of vampires and the vampire strain. I thought that was really cool. So you get some pretty interesting and cool situations like an autopsy being performed on a vampire. Obviously the show doesn't explain every aspect of the vampire condition because that would become boring super quick, and also the show does want to keep some things to the supernatural and unexplained. So I liked the approach to vampires a lot, and I felt that Dr. Goodweather as the lead character gave us an interesting perspective. But just so we're clear, that's a wig, right? Corey Stoll is wearing a wig for this entire season. It didn't bother me or anything, but that hairline is just looking at me. The Strain has this B-movie classic horror thing going on for it. It's not excessive with the gore, but there are some wonderfully disgusting scenes. Something I was kind of disappointed by was the monster design. This show makes sure that you know that it has Guillermo del Toro's name on it. It makes sure everywhere. So I was looking forward to some Pan's Labyrinth level stuff here. All the vampires, including the big bad vampire, were a bit boring to tell the truth. Oh, maybe not boring, they did their job, they did their thing, but there was just nothing special about it. I get that classic Nosferatu-style vampires was probably the point here, but I still feel that the show could have given us something that was a bit more unique to Del Toro's style and the show itself. The story in The Strain is pretty straightforward. You have your classic survivor group, and they have to take on the monsters and save humanity. The members of the group are different enough from one another to be interesting, but they are still pretty much the template. You got the one that kicks ass, the smart one, the one that doesn't want to be there at first, the older one that knows everything and provides a constant stream of exposition. You get it. The Strain is very respectful to the classic mythology of vampires, and it is also very clearly paying tribute to a lot of classic horror films and comic book style stories. So I will say that if you're a fan of those, this show can do right by you. Generally, I had fun with the story. It's nothing incredibly deep, but they do provide you with a lot of background that makes it feel like this is just a part of a bigger story, which I like. Bottom line, should you watch it? All in all, I have to say that The Strain was a bit underwhelming. It's a very solid vampire show, and I had fun with it, but it didn't feel like anything special. The story was okay, some bits more interesting than others, and the vampires were generally fun. I personally will be watching Season 2 because I like this type of stuff. If you're a horror fan or generally like stories about the supernatural, I think this is a fine entry to the genre. Just one of those shows where I can't really tell you it was really good or it was really bad, it was just like somewhere in between. What about you? Have you watched Season 1 of The Strain? What'd you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below and let's get the discussion going. If you're going to be talking about spoilers, please use spoiler tags in your comments, and remember, you can go to bingewatchers.space/vote and vote on what gets reviewed next on this channel. And if you're finding Binge Watchers for the first time, welcome! I'd like to invite you to join the Binge Watchers community. Come talk about TV with us, it's a lot of fun. Subscribe to the channel. But in any case, keep binging, and I will see you next time. The blood!